From the heat of the Oregon Coast Culinary Institute's kitchen to the sub-freezing temperature of the Peace region, chef and artist Chris Fultz has returned to participate in this year's High on Ice Winter Festival. When he's not creating massive ice sculptures, Fultz works full-time as a culinary instructor. He credits the industry for helping him discover his passion.
Right about 10 or so years ago, and one of the chefs took off and we needed an ice sculpture literally the next day, and the director came down. He's like, somebody's got to do it. And I remember I was like, man, I'd seen an ice sculpture or heard about one before. I was so intrigued, so I ended up jumping into it.
Before long, Fultz went from working on single block pieces to these large elaborate ice sculptures and joining competitions and events around the globe.
Dealing with these large installations here in Fort St. John, where it's at stable like -10 to -20, compared to a lot of us, we travel so much, and you'll end up down in Houston, with like 8 blocks and 90 degrees and direct sunlight, and you're like, basically you're pulling something out in like 3 or 4 hours, trying to make it beautiful, and as it's melting in front of everyone. Still awesome and a lot of fun, but very, very different.
Fultz is one of 7 ice carvers preparing Centennial Park for the annual winter celebration, and the only American. He is joined by 3 Canadians, a Russian, and a Polish carver.
I know for myself, it's been amazing. It's like a continued education. The realism from the Japanese masters to the abstract from the Russians. And those two, as an artist, you get to be exposed and kind of stuck in the middle. Where it really influences your work.
Fultz took a 3-year break from ice sculpting. The professional single-block 2-hour carving event on Friday afternoon will mark his return to the competitive scene, and Fultz has promised something special.
It's not exactly because this is a People's Choice competition, so it's not a People's Choice piece, and I understand the concepts behind People's Choice. It's certainly not that, but it's more for myself. I want to see if I can get back to that level pretty quick to what we did like 3 or 4 years ago, and now I'm like questioning myself. I'm like, can I actually do that? So I actually set those designs to do it. So it's a competition with myself.
And the professional ice carving will continue on Saturday with public demonstrations. Fultz has plans to unveil a new creation of his to the world.
I've never really done a dragon before, and I know people do them all the time. So I designed this dragon off of a cat. My kids have this cat in the living room. So I'm watching this cat. He's just a little baby, and he's learning how to like pounce. So he gets in this his head's down near the carpet and his butt's way up in the air, and he's ready to attack. So I kind of photographed that, and I built this dragon out of it. So I'm calling it Cat Dragon. So I'm pretty excited about that one. I think the kids are going to love it.
The ice slides open at 4 in the afternoon on Friday, the same time the professional single-block carving competition gets underway. Opening ceremonies begin at 6:30. Brendan Miller, CJDC-TV News, Fort St. John.